Hello guys, welcome to LawPutra YouTube channel. I am Bhavna here. Today we are gonna discussing about Section 17 of Transfer of Property Act. Section 17 of Transfer of Property Act says about direction of accumulation or doctrine of accumulation. It is either called as doctrine of accumulation or direction of accumulation. Now, before going and seeing about the case, let's know the meaning of accumulation. Accumulation is nothing but acquisition or gradual gathering of something. It is nothing but a gradual gathering of something or इकट्ठा करना. Now let's just see the origin of the case. Theluson versus Woodford in the year 1859 is the origin of Section 17 of Transfer of Property Act. Section 17 is originated from the case Theluson versus Woodford in the year 1859. The House of Lords decided the case in the year 1859. Simply remember the case Theluson versus Woodford in the year 1859. Now, let's just see the facts of the case. Theluson versus Woodford. Theluson is a merchant and a rich person. He transferred the property in such a way that the property is transferred to sons, grandsons and great-grandsons. The property will be transferred to sons, grandsons and great-grandsons, and the income or profit accumulated from the property will be given to these sons, grandsons and great-grandsons. Here, the property accumulated from the property is transferred, and it was given in such a way that the property is just started with just 5,000 pounds. It's just started with 5,000 pounds, and the income generated or profit generated from the property became such bigger and bigger day by day, and the figure of the income is unbelievable. It just started with just 5,000 pounds only. Here, seeing all these, the court reached the case reached the court, and it was decided that this case is valid. Before, and just remember the validity. This case is valid as there is a transfer of property and there is accumulation of property and there is a transfer of property to great sons, grandsons and great grandsons. It is decided by the court that this case is valid. As we are talking about the validity of the transfer, let's just understand the validity of the transfer by the subsection 1, which says about first point, the life of the transferor, or second point, a period of 18 years from the date of transfer. A life of a transferor or a period of 18 years from the date of transfer. Here, subsection 1, under subsection 1, a life of transferor or a period of 18 years from the date of transfer. Now just simply understand with a simple example where A transfers the property to B in the year 1990. A transfers the property to B in the year 1990. It was transferred in such a way that the property, the income or profit accumulated from the property will be given to A up to year 2000. Okay, from the year 1990 to 2000, the income or profit accumulated from the property will be given to A, where unfortunately A dies in the year 1995. Okay, A dies in the year 1995. Now let's just see about first points where the life of the transferor or 18 years from the date of transfer. So in these two, which is higher, which gets more income, that will be only calculated. So as A died in the year 1995, where the properties should be from 1990 to 2000, it is considered as a valid transfer, and the property is from 18 years. So 1990 to 18 years will be calculated, and the property it is a valid transfer. And now let's just simply understand with another example, as we know about validity now. So A transfers the property to B in the year 1980. Okay, the year 1980, and he wants to accumulate the income or profit from the property up to year 2000. So here the will be 20 years, and there is a validity up to only 18 years. So where A dies in the year 1995, so this will be calculated up to 1998 only. It will be calculated, not up to 2000, as there is only 18 years. Now let's just simply see the subsection 2. Subsection 2 talks about exceptions. Subsection 2 talks about exceptions. There are 3 exceptions, where first one is about payment of debts, and second one provisions of portions, and third one, the preservation or maintenance of property. Now, first point, payment of debts. Second one, provisions of portions, and third one, the preservation or maintenance of property. As we discussed in subsection 1, that the validity of accumulation of property, validity of income of accumulation of property will be up to a life of transfer or life or 18 years from the date of transfer. Okay, for these two there are exceptions to this. Can be extended in cases where the payment of debts or maintenance of property or preservation of property, or third point, provisions of portions. Now let's just simply understand these three with some easy examples. Okay, now let's discuss about point 1, payment of debts, where A has a debt and he wants the income to be transferred to C, where up to 2000 a year. From the above example we discussed earlier, here as there is a debt, B is liable to pay the income generated from the property to C up to year 2000. There is no limit up to only 18 years. This can be extended. Now let's move on to the second point, provision of portion, where this can be a interest of person or benefit of child, where A transfers the property to B with interest. It is included that property or profit or income generated from the property will be transferred to his son, child, or any person to D. Here A transfers the property to B and the income accumulated will be transferred to D, and there will be this will be also considered as an exemption. Okay, moving to the third point, preservation or maintenance of property. A transfers the property to B in such a way for the maintenance or the income generated from the property is given for the maintenance of property. This will be also considered as an exemption from under subsection 2. Okay, here these are the 3 points. These are considered as exemptions of section under section 17 subsection 2, payment of debts, provisions of portion, and preservation of maintenance. Under section 17 subsection 2, payment of debts, provisions of portion, and preservation of maintenance of property. Okay, as considering the Pay Act, section 17 again inserted and by amending Act of 1929 applies to the transferors where the property and the income arising from the property separated by the transferor while effecting a transfer, and the transferee is directed not to spend the income but accumulated it for a specific or non-specific period. Here specific period means comes under section 1, where the life of the transferor or 18 years from the date of transfer. Non-specified period means exemptions we discussed now, like payment of debts, provisions of portions, and preservation of maintenance of property. I hope you all clear with it. I hope you all get clear with it. Now let's just simply recall the section 17. Section 17 deals with the doctrine of accumulation. Accumulation is nothing but a gradual gathering of something. It is originated from the case Theluson versus Woodford in the year 1859, and it has 2 subsections. Subsection 1 deals with the validity or direction of accumulation of income or property generated or arising from the property wholly or in a part, where the life of the transferor, or B, a period of 18 years from the date of transfer. And subsection 2 deals with the exceptions, payment of debts, provision of portions, and the preservation of maintenance of property. Hope you all clear with it, section 17. If you have any doubts, please leave it in the comment section. Thank you for watching the video. Please do like, share, and subscribe to LawPutra YouTube channel. Thank you.